All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been shaping our lives in ways we often overlook: economic policies and their direct impact on our daily existence. So let's call this episode The Hidden Web of Economics. You know, when we talk about personal finance and the markets, it's not just numbers on a screen. It's grocery prices, mortgages, our retirement funds. It's our actual lives.
Wow, that sounds super interesting. So, how are grocery prices related to all of this, you know? I mean, I just went to the store the other day, and I almost did a double take at the checkout.
Exactly. When we look at grocery prices, especially under previous administrations, it's crucial to understand the underlying economic policies that drive those changes. For instance, during the Trump administration, tariffs were implemented on various goods. You've got to think about how tariffs affect the supply chains. So let's say a company imports avocados from Mexico. If there's a tariff on them, the cost goes up, which gets passed on to us at the grocery store.
Right, that's kind of like, when you have a group project in school and one person doesn't do their part, everyone ends up suffering, right?
Perfect analogy. It's exactly like that. If one part of the system fails or gets taxed heavily, it ripples through the entire supply chain. And, let me tell you folks, when food prices go up, it impacts lower-income families the hardest.
Oh wow, that makes sense. So, with those tariffs, how's that actually impacting, the grocery shopping habits for people? Are we seeing, people switching to different foods or something?
Absolutely. Many families may start looking for alternatives or switch to store brands to save money, which is a direct response to increased prices. And speaking of alternatives, let's not forget about how grocery stores themselves shift. They may stock fewer imported items if people aren't buying them. That change affects suppliers, farmers, and even the economy at large.
That's wild. So it's like, a chain reaction of sorts? Like if I had a bowling ball and knocked over one pin, it just sends everything else tumbling down, right?
Exactly. That's the perfect visualization. A bowling alley in action. And it's all interconnected. Now, adding to this are the challenges universities face with their funding. With rising tuition and student loans, it's a similar thread connecting economic policies to individual experiences.
Oh wow, I remember when student loan debt was, everywhere in the news. So are those high costs linked to these tariff policies too?
In a way, yes. Rising costs of living, influenced by tariffs and market strategies, means students are graduating with even more debt. It's a cycle that's difficult to break. There have been discussions about how monetary policy and economic structures in place make it harder for graduates to enter the job market successfully.
Wow. It's like we're stuck in a loop. So what about the economy's response to oil prices? Are we, seeing similar effects there on things like transport costs for groceries?
Absolutely. Oil prices can trickle down through the economy pretty quickly. When oil gets more expensive, not only do we see gas prices rise, but that also raises the cost of transportation for goods, including groceries. So if you think about it, the pain at the pump translates to us feeling it right in our wallets at the grocery store.
That's just crazy. So with all this stuff going on, how do we even keep track of what's really affecting our money? It's like a financial funhouse.
Haha, yes, it certainly can feel like that. But understanding the connections between policies, the economy, and everyday spending is key. It helps us to make informed choices, whether we're investing, budgeting for groceries, or planning for retirement.
I can totally see how staying informed would make a big difference. Kinda like studying for a test, right? The more you know, the better you do.
Exactly. And armoring ourselves with knowledge is crucial. We're living in complex times, and by pulling back the curtain on economic policies, we can better navigate our financial futures. Remember, folks, each decision we make today echoes into tomorrow.
Wow, that's such a great way to put it. It's like planting seeds and hoping they grow, right? We need to make sure those seeds are solid.
Yes, exactly like that. Investing in our understanding allows us to prepare for various outcomes. It's about nurturing our financial gardens so they flourish over time.
I love that imagery. So, can we actually make a difference, as individuals?